organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up tonight on Daily Iowan TV, UI student government headed to the soapbox last night, found out what happened coming up.
Dorothy didn't quite know how to deal with tornadoes, but we'll teach you how next.
Coming up in sports,
developing news on Jake Rudock's future at Iowa, and baseball continues to roll.
We're bringing you all that and more coming up next.
Welcome back to Daily Iowan TV.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle Nago.
And I'm Mary Caldwell.
Iowa farmland value is plummeting, and it doesn't look like that's changing anytime soon. This marks the second year in a row that land has seen a decline. The price per acre is down 11% from last March after a peak in prices back in March 2013. Analysts are predicting values could continue to fall by as much as 5 to 20% over the next 3 years.
An Iowa House of Representatives panel approved Governor Terry Branstad's broadband bill today, but not without some concern. The bill and a grant program would help service providers offer high-speed internet. The concern comes because the grant program is no longer receiving the $5 million in state money that it was supposed to. The program will now rely on federal and private money and will head to a committee for consideration.
What started out as a calm debate soon heightened to a heated deliberation. Last evening, students gathered at the IMU to listen to the University of Iowa student government presidential debate. Topics range from affordability, sustainability, and on how to enhance diversity, campus safety, and UI student governments. Organizations. Beach Party candidate Sam Wampler said one major focus he hopes to strengthen is the collaboration between multicultural organizations on campus.
One thing we really want to work on is collaboration when it comes to diversity. We know we don't know all the answers. We're not going to assume the answer and tell you what to do. Therefore, we want to have regular multicultural leadership roundtable meetings to ensure student government is representing and effectively serving students from every background.
Real Party candidate Liz Mills discussed the party's connection with the Hawkeye Caucus. She touched on how many of their members made a trip to Des Moines yesterday to lobby state legislators. She also expressed ways to work with all students.
Make sure that they believe in responsible, empowering, accessible leadership that will really advocate to our students and reach out in the best ways possible. We have 6 unique components of our platform that will allow us to get there.
The vice presidential debate is currently taking place, and we will have more updates for you tomorrow. You can vote on ISIS on April 8th and 9th.
The Johnson County Historical Courthouse is looking to become a little more secure. The County Board of Supervisors is still searching for structural engineers to finalize plans for a safer entrance to the county's historic courthouse. Only one engineering firm responded after requests by the county, but the project is still forecasted to be finished by the end of this year.
3 full-time violence prevention specialists were hired at the UI thanks to President Sally Mason's 6-point plan to stop sexual assault. A new position was created at the Women's Resource and Action Center, or WRAC, and 2 part-time positions have turned into full-time jobs, one at the WRAC and one at the Rape Victim Advocacy Program.
Pranks were in full force today on April Fool's Day. Our own Austin Love went out to see what UI tricksters and victims were up to today.
Trick-or-treating? It's every prankster's favorite or maybe least favorite holiday. April Fool's Day, a day that can be a nightmare to some and a delight to others, but there is one thing for sure, no one is safe, especially here on campus.
So what is the best prank you've ever pulled?
Actually, I called my mom today and I told her that I'm not graduating this May because I'm failing 2 of my classes.
Yeah, actually I was rudely awoken this morning by my roommate. He poured a giant bucket of ice water on me.
That's pretty brutal.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy about it.
I have been pranked. There was saran wrap on the toilet seat and it just got all over the floor. And she wasn't there to clean it up, so I had to do it myself.
I would have just left it there.
I mean, I'm on TV, so I'm not going to say it, but yeah, I left it.
We put toothpaste in all the Oreos and put it back in the cabinet. And one of my friends came home really drunk that night, and she was some Oreos. And yeah, she ate like almost all of the minty Oreos.
It's been a good day so far. I haven't gotten pranked yet, but keep my head in a swivel, you know.
Happy April Fool's Day. I'm Austin Love, Daily Iowan TV.
Mary, so I didn't get pranked yet today. Have you gotten pranked?
No, not yet, and I hope I don't, but you know what is not a joke is this weather.
Yeah, it's been so nice today, and so let's throw it over to Megan Coble in the weather studio to see if it's gonna stay warm all week.
It was another gorgeous day here in Iowa City, but it looks like we will have to bring out our umbrellas and rain jackets briefly tomorrow morning. Thursday morning will be a gloomy one with a 90% chance of rain and temperatures in the 50s. By noon, the rain should stop and we will see partly cloudy skies with 67 degrees. As we wind down Thursday evening, those clouds are going to stay put and a slight decrease in temperature to 60 degrees. For the rest of our week, we will have a cooler Friday with highs in the 50s. And as we head into Easter weekend, the sun will be out and shining with highs in the upper 60s. Unfortunately, that sun is going to hide behind some thunderstorm clouds coming next week. And with those storms coming our way, Iowans need to prepare for severe weather season. I went out earlier today to find out the best safety practices for when those wind speeds pick up and thunderstorms hit.
Not only do the spring months bring sunshine, green grass, and blooming flowers, but they can also bring dangerous weather. Midwestern states like Iowa experience many severe thunderstorms in the spring and summer months. These storms include high winds, heavy rain, and large hail. Just like Dorothy in Kansas, Iowa is also a known member of Tornado Alley, or the region in the United States where tornadoes are most frequent. It is essential to know what to do when dangerous weather is coming our way. The University of Iowa strives to keep its learning environment operating at all times, but in some severe storm cases, keeping students and faculty safe is its main goal. When severe weather strikes, the University of Iowa will issue a hawk alert.
Johnson County will set off their outdoor warning sirens, and ours are hooked into theirs electronically, so when theirs activate, ours activate.
Downloading a weather app on your mobile device can keep you up to date on changes happening in Iowa City. In cases of severe thunderstorms, stay indoors and away from windows. Avoid using electrical equipment and unplug any unnecessary items. If a tornado were to come our way, it is important to get to the lowest possible level of a building. Continue to stay away from windows and get under large furniture to avoid flying objects that may cause harm. Following these tips during severe weather will help keep you safe from Mother Nature's harm. This is Megan Coble reporting for Daily Iowan TV.
Well, guys, that's all I have in the weather studio. Back to you at the desk.
The main library was bustling due to one yummy event today. The University of Iowa hosted an edible book festival. Books ranging from Harry Potter to I Want My Hat Back were transformed into edible treats. The food either formed a book cover or foods were created with the book theme in mind. University staff picked the winner, but the public was also encouraged to vote on their favorite book.
It seemed like a popular and fairly easy way to have an event that we welcome people to the library, talk about stories in different formats than we're used to talking.
The event is part of an international edible book festival that, for some funny reason, always falls on April 1st.
Atlanta, Georgia public schools are in the hot seat for a cheating scandal today. Out of the 12 defendants, 11 were convicted for racketeering and other crimes. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported incredible improvements on standardized tests, but after a state review, they found cheating at more than half of the schools in the district. The cheating could have started all the way back in 2001 when scores initially started to improve.
China is building another Great Wall, but this one might look a little different. China is creating an artificial land by dumping sand onto coral reefs and paving them over with concrete, creating a so-called Great Wall of Sand. The Philippines filed a complaint with the UN, but China says its actions are justified.
The Iowa baseball team continues to dominate after winning 4 straight games.
That's right, Mary, but the big news coming from today was a possible transfer in the football program. We'll hand it off to Whitney Blakemore and Jalen Socek in the sports studio for more.
Mary and Michelle, that's right. Earlier Wednesday afternoon, the Big Ten announced that quarterback Jake Rudock's transfer waiver has been approved.
That's right, Whitney, and this means that Rudock could be able to transfer to what will likely be Michigan and play immediately for his final season of eligibility.
Under the conference's transfer rule, all players who transfer to another university within the conference must sit out for a year before competing. There's no exception for graduate student athletes who wish to transfer and play immediately.
No word has come from either programs or Rudock himself if the transfer has been put into effect yet. Rudock lost his starting position earlier this year to CJ Beathard. We caught up with a now starter on his new role on the team.
I'm just going to continue to be that guy and lead even more, whatever that means, work hard in the weight room and be more vocal and everything, because it's my team now and I got to take those reins. So.
Assistant coaches LeVar Woods and Jim Reed also met with the media today to discuss their new coaching positions. Woods, the former linebacker coach, now heads the tight end position, and Reed, formerly co-linebacker coach with Woods, takes charge of the position all on his own. Woods says he's confident in his new role.
Very good skill set, highly skilled players. I agree with that 100%. 100%. They have the ability. Now it's just a matter of coaching them and them, executing when it's their time on the field and seeing what we can do.
And Reed promising a better linebacking core, but not with the promise of more production or talent in the position.
It's going to be up as much as it's going to be consistent. What we're after is this, real heady players who are very aggressive up the field.
We'll now get to some sports currently in action. The weather isn't the only thing heating up in Iowa City. Daily Iowan TV sports reporter Jordan Maloney has more on the Iowa baseball team's heat wave.
After sweeping the 19th ranked Indiana Hoosiers last weekend, the University of Iowa baseball team found themselves a national ranking for the first time since 1990. With this momentum, the Hawkeyes took on Grandview on Tuesday at home, recording themselves another victory. Earning their 18th win of the season, the Hawkeyes were able to hold the Vikings to 2 runs and 5 hits due to an impressive defense performance and the team's pitching strength.
We play great defense day in and day out, and for the most part we can run a lot of really good arms at you. As you're watching the games now, our starters are starting to get into the late innings, which is just going to make us better and better.
While Jared Mandel earned the victory, freshman Nick Gallagher made his first career start, pitching 1 out short of 4 innings.
Doesn't matter if I'm starting or in the bullpen. Just try to do as best I can and try to limit free bases and just pound the zone.
After a slow start, the Hawkeyes found their swing in the final innings. At the top of the 8th inning, with a man on first, Nick Rossetti pulled out a double before Eric Toole and Jake Mangler followed with singles. It was senior Chris Day who finished the sequence with a 2-run double, putting the score at 9-2.
And early in the game, we weren't able to get hits, and it was really great later in the game to be able to get some runs on the board.
Ranked 24th in the nation, the Hawkeyes are now 18-6, their best start since 1941. The Hawkeyes head to West Lafayette this weekend to take on Purdue. That's all for now from Banks Field. I'm Jordan Maloney with DITV Sports.
Thanks, Jordan. And the 8th-ranked Hawkeye gymnastics squad will be heading for the NCAA championships after learning earlier today of their qualification.
Iowa is just one of 12 teams to make the cut with a qualifying score of over 430 points. The Hawkeyes will be competing with the likes of top programs Oklahoma and Stanford, and will be joined by Big Ten foes Penn State, Michigan, Illinois, Minnesota, Ohio State, and Nebraska.
The event will have 2 sessions and is set to take place April 9th at the University of Oklahoma. Final competitions will follow April 10th and 11th.
As the men's squad learns their NCAA fate, the women's gymnastics team is heading to its NCAA Regionals competition in Auburn. We caught up with the team earlier this week, and you can hear what they had to say in Thursday's program.
We'll also be bringing you a look at one of Iowa's best track and field throwers.
Well, that will do it for us. Back to you guys at the desk.
It was a nice day to take a walk around campus, and Google is trying to make that trek a little more entertaining. Google Maps has a Pac-Man game that turns streets into a virtual Pac-Man maze.
The game tracks your location, and as you walk, you can consume little yellow pellets, just like the traditional Pac-Man game. So fire up Google Maps on your way to class tomorrow and be on the lookout for Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde.
That's all we have for you tonight on Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to tune in tomorrow evening for more of the latest news.
I'm Michelle Nago.
And I'm Mary Caldwell. Thanks for watching Daily Iowan TV.
And have a great night.